Willie Wimple went a-walking and he threw a paper here, tossed a wrapper there till trash was everywhere. Now if every kid did it, can't you see what an ugly place it would be? No room for a marching band, no place for people to stand, no parks to play in, yards to stay in, just trash across our land. And if every kid did it, can't you see what a messy, dirty, no fun world it would be? Yeah.
Hey, this is Owen Wilson.
This is Erykah Badu.
I'm Janine Turner.
This is Julius Jones.
This is Lance Armstrong.
This is Leanne Womack.
We're Los Lonely Boys.
This is Chuck Norris.
This is Jennifer Love Hewitt reminding you.
Don't mess with Texas.
Coming up on KFTP News, it's the world's most polluted country. But what are they doing to clean things up? And do our Amarillo school kids know enough about pollution? We went to Emerson Elementary today and found out. We also have an exclusive interview with Mother Earth. You don't want to miss this.
Usually, it's easy for parents to identify the dangers that could potentially harm their kids. When it comes to air quality, however, the signs aren't so easy to read. You can't always see the pollution that threatens your child's young developing lungs, making even the most innocent places potentially dangerous ones.
Hi, I'm Woodsy Owl, and I'm here to tell you about a dirty word, water pollution. Kids, it's up to us to keep our lakes and streams clean and beautiful. We've been polluting the water with all kinds of junk like paper, cans, and gooey gunk. It looks ugly, and it's killing our fish and ducks. Please don't throw junk in the water. Give a hoot. Don't pollute.
In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Woo-hoo!
It's time for KFTP News with Butch Cannon Rodriguez Enriquez Sanchez de Jesus, me, Lou Peterson, Sally Story, Paula Pollutant. With today's Health Watch, Dr. Helena Odontcare. Making a special appearance, Mother Earth. The news starts now.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to KFTP. I'm Butch Cannon Rodriguez Enriquez Sanchez de Jesus.
And I'm Lou Peterson.
Topping tonight's news. Pollution has been a big deal in Amarillo for years. What is air pollution? Air pollution is our air that is mixed with dirty contaminants like smoke, dust, dirt, and gases such as carbon monoxide. Sometimes you can see air pollution, but often it is invisible. Most air pollution comes from burning something like when we burn gasoline to operate motor vehicles. Carbon monoxide is emitted into the air. Carbon monoxide is an odorless and colorless gas, but it can be very harmful to our health when there is enough of it in the air. In tonight's world news, BBC's Dan Griffiths reports on one of the world's most polluted countries.
This is one of the most polluted nations on Earth. China's leaders have made repeated promises to clean up the environment. But this latest research suggests that conditions haven't improved over the past 3 years. It ranks various countries' environmental record, and China is among the 20 nations with the worst performance. More worryingly for the country's leaders, that's a position unchanged from a similar survey in 2004. The country is now home to some of the most polluted cities and waterways on the planet. It's also the world's second largest emitter of greenhouse gases after the US. The problem is that China has always put economic development ahead of the environment. And now it's paying the price. Daniel Griffiths, BBC News, Beijing.
Thanks, Dan. When we return, is pollution driving up our health costs? Dr. Odontcare will answer all of your questions.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Yo no lo haría.
I wouldn't do it.
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 Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I'd never do it.
I wouldn't do it.
We wouldn't do it.
Don't mess with taxes.
Thank you for tuning in. For tonight's Health Watch, Dr. Helena Odontcare will answer some of your health questions.
Thank you, Milou. Well, I am Dr. Helena and Odontcare, and today I want to talk to you about some health issues related to air pollution and smog. Now, being from the beautiful city of Amarillo in the wonderful state of Texas, we don't seem to care too much about smog. But did you know our large cities in Texas, Dallas and Houston, are ranked in the top 10 cities for being the smoggiest? Of course, Los Angeles, California is ranked number 1. Well, some health issues we need to think about with smog and air pollution are that you can become more susceptible to respiratory problems, lung infection, allergies, wheezing, coughing, and asthma. And if your lungs become weak from exposure to smog, you can have lifelong problems breathing. Any of one of these problems is going to send you to the doctor or possibly ER. And you know that's going to drive up the healthcare costs. So what should you do? Try to stay inside if you can, if there's a huge smog warning. Or if you go out, try to do it early in the morning. And if that is so bad you can't see, try a gas mask, or you can put on a mask like this. Now, if that doesn't work, you can always be a turkey and move to Albuquerque. That is number 1 in the cleanest cities for air in the U.S. of A. I am Dr. Helena. This has been Health Watch. Back to you.
Just how aware are Amarillo school kids about pollution? We have an interesting story from Sally Story, who visited an Amarillo school today. Sally?
I'm Sally Story, and I'm here at Emerson Elementary, where the 5th grade classes have been studying about pollution and its effects on the environment. The different kinds of pollutions that I heard in the hallways were air pollution, water pollution, and earth pollution. When I spoke to some of the students, they were excited about sharing with me what they learned. Tell me, what did you learn about pollution this week?
That a lot of people throw trash away and it pollutes our world to make it dirty and stuff.
Good. What do you know about pollutants in water?
That toxic waste is bad for the water.
Very good. And what about the toxic chemicals in our air?
Our cars put gases in the air and it makes us Gets us sick.
It gets us sick? Okay.
All the gas and stuff, it would be hard to breathe.
Very good. So they have been saying that air pollutants can cause people to have asthma. Do you believe that to be true?
Yes.
There's a lot of cars nowadays in the highways, and we're using a lot of carbon monoxide. And we need to plant more trees so they can clean up the air and use less gas.
Thank you so much. I'm Sally Story. This is Emerson Elementary.
Smog is an awful thing to witness in person. Paula Pollution has a story that you do not want to miss. But first, this message.
Keep it right here.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
The real Texans don't litter.
Good morning, Mother Earth.
Good morning, Paula.
What is smog and what causes it?
Smog comes from what the cars and the factories release into the air. The smoke reacts with the atmosphere, causing smog, which is the foggy layer we sometimes see in larger cities. For example, New York and Los Angeles.
Now that you mention New York and Los Angeles, what are the most polluted cities in the United States?
The top 5 most polluted cities in the U.S. are, as I mentioned, New York and Los Angeles, Houston, which is in Texas, my favorite state, San Francisco, and the northern part of Idaho and western Montana.
I understand why New York, Houston, Los Angeles, and San Francisco are in that list. Their population ranges in the millions, and they are big on manufacturing. Their factories produce many of the goods used all over the United States. But I am surprised that the Idaho and Montana region is in that list, since they are not heavily populated or have many factories. Could you explain?
Well, that's the area that is located in a valley in which there is no airflow to carry away the pollutants.
So what international cities are the most polluted?
4 come to mind. They are London, Mexico City, Beijing, Tehran. Just to explain how bad it became, in 1952, around 57 years ago, that was before my time, there was a period in which the sky was darkened due to smog. The smog was produced from the coal that they burned to heat their homes. Also, during my last visit to Mexico City, I collected children's drawings and noticed the sky was gray in their artwork. And when I asked why, they answered, that's how their sky looks to them every day.
That is so sad to hear. So how do you measure how much smog is in the environment?
Smog is measured by using an automated optical instrument called a nephelometer. That is a scale that runs from 0 to 500. If the optical instrument gives a measurement of 301 to 500 range, that is when it's hazardous to breathe.
Are there any natural events that cause smog?
Yes, Paula. An erupting volcano can release high levels of pollutants. It is often called a fog instead of smog, since it comes from a volcano.
What are the developed countries doing to reduce smog?
The governments are enforcing stricter laws for car manufacturers so that the new cars would release fewer pollutants into the air by using cleaner fuels. Also, enforcing the same regulations on cruise and transport ships, and as well as farm equipment and commonly used tools such as a chainsaw.
Thank you, Mother Earth, for sharing your knowledge with us on air pollution. Is there anything you would like to add?
I'm just tickled green to hear that your audience wants to save the Earth. Oh, and since I'm on live TV, just a shout out to my daughter, my mom, my dad,
back to you,
my brothers, my sisters.
Ever been out playing basketball with your friends? The sky's blue, sun is out shining, and you score that winning shot for your team. Out celebrating, now you're walking home. The sky's getting kind of gray. It's not looking as pretty anymore. What is that? Air pollution. What is air pollution? Air pollution is any substance in an environment that poisons our air, land, and water. Chemicals have poisoned our world, harming humans, our wildlife, plant life on land, air, and sea. The World Health Organization reports that 3 million people die each year from the effects of pollution. This is 3 times the 1 million who die each year in automobile accidents. In the United States, traffic fatalities total over 40,000 per year. Air pollution claims 70,000 lives each year. Clouds of choking smog, beaches coated in oil, rivers ruined by chemicals. All these are examples of pollution, but not all types of pollution are easily seen. There are invisible fumes of gas that drift over our towns and cities. They also cause asthma and chest problems, and they can also kill trees. When we return, Sally's story is back at it again. She's in South Amarillo. We'll see you in a while.
What's up, Woodsy? This schoolyard's a mess. Look at that. Boom. And that.
Yuck. Some people just don't know what trash cans are for. We'll stop littering, Woodsy.
Great. Now, if you'd each pick up a litter bit.
I will. So will I. I thought first. Okay, let's vote.
Thanks, kids. If everybody does their part, we'll keep America looking good. Give a hoot. Don't pollute. Hoo, hoo.
Pollution. Solution.
Willie Wimple went a-boatin', making dirty water gear, pouring stuff there till the gunk was everywhere. Now if every kid did it, can't you see what an icky mess it would be? No place for fish to swim, no lakes for sailing in, no rivers, no streams, no submarines, no swimming never again. Now if every kid did it, can't you see what an icky, messy, no fun world it would be? Yuck.
This is Sally's story in South Amarillo, reporting to you about water pollution. Amarillo's water supply comes from surface of Lake Meredith and groundwater of the Aquilala Aquifer. The city's drinking water is held by both surfaces, 36% lake water and 64% groundwater. Can one person make a difference in protecting your drinking water? Do your part in making a difference in Amarillo's water quality. Prevent water pollution by minimizing the pesticides and fertilizers in your garden and lawn. If you insist on having a garden, use a natural method such as composting and environmentally safe methods. Amarillo uses a conventional treatment process to supply drinking water and presently has the capacity to treat and supply 121 million gallons of water per day. Now don't go getting all excited and relieved now, peoples. Even though the water is treated, that doesn't get us off the hook where water pollution is concerned. Use proper methods to dispose of hazardous household waste, such as bleach, motor oil, and common household cleaners. Some cities have drop-off areas for paint, solvents, pesticides, and chemicals. By taking advantage of these facilities, you can ensure that hazardous materials don't seep back into the soil and contaminate our water supplies. Back to you.
Hello, folks. This is Roscoe Pollution, and I'm here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm here to do a special report on pollution. There's a huge smog alert when I woke up today in the city of Los Angeles and the surrounding cities. Now, being an Amarillo resident for years, it is really scary if you ain't used to it.
What do you see out there, Roscoe?
I'm looking at the sky now, and it looks dark. Almost as if it's cloudy. It seems like it's gonna rain, but, the thing is that there ain't no rain in the forecast at all.
You know, Roscoe, I think that the problem with Amarillo residents is that since they don't see the smog every day or the trash in the oceans, they don't feel like they are affected. Can you address that?
Sure, Butch. Well, I bet you boys and girls are sitting there in your pretty little blue Emerson chairs thinking, but we don't have an air pollution problem in Amarillo. And you're saying, we don't live anywhere near an ocean. Why should I care if people are polluting the seas? Well, you're wrong, my friend. Very wrong. Even people in Amarillo are indirectly affected by pollution of the earth. First of all, guess who has to pay for pollution cleanup? That's right, taxpayers. Your mommies, your daddies, your teachers, and even your principal. See, we all live in the U.S. of A., and your money goes to Washington. Then Washington sends it to Houston, New York, and California.
Hey, Roscoe, last year the students learned about acid rain. Can you remind them what that is?
Butch, I heard about that. Well, kids, Butch is right. Air pollution directly affects you in Amarillo because the pollution goes up in the atmosphere and becomes acid rain. And if you remember, acid rain is a term used to describe all forms of acid precipitation in the rain, snow, hail, fog, all of them.
Hey, Roscoe, what are some of the things that our students can do to help reduce pollution?
Well, some things that kids can do is to conserve energy. Turn off the lights and appliances. Turn off your TV. Turn off your Wii's. Turn off your Xbox 360s when you leave the room. Recycle paper, plastic, glass bottles, cardboard, and aluminum cans. Hey, you can even tell your parents to help out by shopping with canvas bags instead of using paper and plastic bags. You can also tell them to join a carpool or van pool to get to work. And tell them to plan your trips, save gasoline, and reduce air pollution. Well, folks, I guess that's all for me here in Los Angeles, California. Back to you guys in Amarillo.
Thanks for the awesome tips, Butch.
That's all we have for tonight, Bulldogs. We hope you have a better understanding of air pollution, water pollution, and smog.
And though we can't prevent pollution entirely, we can control the amounts of harmful gases in our environment.
And you can help by putting your trash in... Where do you put your trash? That's right, in a trash can.
We hope you have a wonderful day.
Goodbye.
I'm Ronnie Trash. Hit it, gang. I keep a close watch on this trash of mine. I put it where I see a throw trash here sign. Let's clean it up, then this whole world won't pine. Let's clean it fine. It's yours and mine. Now you might say to yourself, Ronnie Trash, that can't be his real name, and you'd be right. Because that's what I talk about and squawk about, trash. And that's what I worry about as I travel the highways and byways of this great land. I see people do things with their trash that really bothers me. I see a man throw something from his car. Might be a candy wrapper or an old cigar. He thinks it's his whole world to trash and mar. That mug's no star. He's gone too far. Yes, sir, folks, there's just two things that really make me mad. The first thing is folks putting trash where it doesn't belong. And as I travel the highways and byways, I see all manner of trash where it doesn't belong. In the rivers, in the streets, in the parks, and in the fields. Down, 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 don't throw your trash down. On the ground, 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 it makes me quake and frown. Don't throw it on the earth, land of our birth. Now you might say to yourself, what can I do, little old me? Well, the next time you have a gum wrapper or a candy wrapper, empty milk carton, a banana peel, a Sunday paper, or maybe the weekly magazine, any old kind of trash, you remember what old Ronnie Trash told you and throw it where it belongs, in the trash. It's important. Yes, sir, buckaroo. I'm talking to you.